Good morning, folks. We'll kick this off here now. I want to take an opportunity to welcome you all. My name is Marshall Murphy. I'm the Vice President for Communications for Pepco Holdings. And thank you all for being here today on really the start of the fall season, a lovely fall morning. And we're here to do the sort of the official opening and celebration of the Pepco Trail. We've got a great event planned here for today. We have a number of folks who have joined us to give some comments and some remarks on the trail. And a number of the folks standing behind me were absolutely critical in working to make this trail a reality. So very, very pleased to have our honored guests here today. Once we wrap up this short set of remarks and any questions that folks in the audience and members of the media have, we'd like to invite everyone here to join us. If you've brought a bike, fantastic. If you'd rather walk, fantastic. The goal here is to have everyone participate and enjoy the trail for what it's here for. So again, thank you for being here and joining us. I'm going to kick this off by introducing Dave Velazquez, who is our CEO of Pepco Holdings, an avid biker, avid outdoor enthusiast, and here with us today to make a few remarks. Dave?
So good morning to everybody. I'm so glad to see so many folks out today. I want to thank Ike Leggett for his partnership on this project, his commitment and leadership in our community over his 3 terms as Montgomery County Executive, to Craig Rice and to Casey Anderson for your very, very important support that was critical to this project, to Mike Riley, Dave Magill, all your staffs at Montgomery County Parks, and the Mid-Atlantic off-road enthusiasts. Thank you for your partnership and your collaboration. And special thanks to Shay Neiman, Assistant Manager of Seneca Creek State Park, and Dan Hudson, who's the Trail Manager of the Maryland Park Service, again, for your support in making this project possible. I'd also like to thank a few of our PHI and Pepco employees who were integral to this effort: Sandy Fisher, Jacqueline Cantler, Afshin Abali, Richard Stieg, and Musa Hizazi as well. You know, at Pepco and at Pepco Holdings, our job is to deliver safe, reliable, affordable energy to our customers. But we also have a larger mission that we take very, very seriously, and that's to strengthen, to energize, and to empower our communities. Our company's role, we firmly believe, goes beyond our daily duty, whether we're engineers, line workers, customer service reps, electricians, or more. Our responsibility is much broader. It means giving back to our neighbors and to our communities where we live and we work. Our task, we see, is to invest in these communities and in people and places. And central to all these commitments is upholding our core value of sustainability, which includes promoting ecological diversity and creating open space for our customers so that they can appreciate their surroundings. Developing and building trails along our transmission corridors are just one of the innovative ways we are keeping our promises to the families and households of Montgomery County. So partnering with Montgomery Parks and the Mid-Atlantic off-road enthusiasts, we are proud to help provide a healthy and green-friendly source of recreation to our communities. Together, today we are offering residents a 6-mile multi-use trail connecting the Muddy Branch Stream Valley to South Germantown Recreational Park, where everyone can enjoy nature, engage in healthy exercise, and take full advantage of the outdoor spaces that fill our county. This is part of the legacy that we at Pepco and all help to leave across all of Montgomery County. So thank you again for all your help and support in making this possible.
Thanks very much, Dave. Now I have the pleasure of introducing the Montgomery County Executive, Ike Leggett, who is with us here today as well to say a few words. Sir.
Thank you so very much. First, let me apologize for my dress today and the fact that I'm not riding bicycles. I recently had surgery, and so Councilmember Craig Rice is going to ride not only for me, but himself as well. If he doesn't hold it up, the former council member Dave Scull will pick up the slack. So I've covered you. Well, it's really a delight to be here this morning. It is a delight for a number of reasons because it reflects a collaboration, a partnership with a number of entities that have been central to this. But make no mistake about this. This comes as a result of the approval of the merger that we had a couple of years ago. I supported that merger strongly for a variety of reasons. One, it provided even a greater foundation and support for Pepco, with Echelon, to give us more reliability, a stronger entity, a greater sense of connectivity with the cooperation, given the challenge that we've faced for a number of years around the nation, around our weather challenges, that we would have a stronger organization to make services much more available for the residents of Montgomery County. And secondly, if you look at the individual benefits that are provided for our county, this is one example of that. But it is not the only example of that. There are a number of projects and a number of resources that we have as a result of this merger. Good for the company, good for our residents, and we see here today ample demonstration of that. You've heard all about the trail, and you know what it would provide in terms of this connectivity. But it's again a continuation of what we've had in Montgomery County for a number of years, and we continue to expand. And we're able to do so today with resources and a partnership, Pepco, that I think will continue to strengthen our county. We are better for it as a community, and we are better for it because it fits so well with so many things that our parks and our environment reflects in Montgomery County. I want to thank all of you who've been responsible, most importantly, our Department of Transportation, Al Rosti and his team helped so well, Department of Parks, and all of the others who've worked so well to get us to this point today. But this is a partnership that I think will continue to provide benefits for many, many years for the residents of Montgomery County. Congratulations.
Thank you, Executive Leggett. I now have the pleasure of introducing Montgomery County Councilman Craig Rice, who is also to my right. Sir.
Thank you very much, and welcome to District 2. This is a beautiful day and a great opportunity. A great opportunity to recognize that when corporations partner with government, great things can happen for our community. This is a shining example of that. You heard the county executive talk about the merger and what that means, and we as elected government are supposed to ensure that when these kinds of things happen, that our residents can reap the benefits, not just through reliable service and through making sure that rates can be moderated, but also in terms of community amenities. You know, we pride ourselves here in Montgomery County on being innovative, and this certainly is just that. You know, to be able to figure out that, well, what can we do with this land that's underneath of these power lines? Well, let's get people out and enjoy the outdoors. Let's get people out of their homes and sitting on their sofas and exercise. You know, when we talk about making sure that Montgomery County is a county that's a healthy one and promotes healthy lifestyles, it's providing opportunities for folks like this. You know, we're blessed to have things like our parks and our South Germantown Recreational Park and Soccerplex that are there. This just provides and builds on that, another opportunity for folks to really enjoy all that Montgomery County has to offer. And so I'm just really appreciative of the partnership of Pepco, the stewardship of our Parks Department, and the leadership of folks who had a vision and understood how important this would be to our community. You know, I live at the end of this trail, and I look forward to being able to bring my girls and my wife out. And we're going to ride this trail a lot. This is what it's all about. It's about real life and real people being able to understand and really seize the benefits of something like this. And so it's an exciting day for us. It really is. But it's an indication, I think, of more to come when it comes to Montgomery County doing all that it can to make Montgomery County one of the best places to live, work, and play. So thank you to all of you for your great leadership and support.
Thanks, Councilman Rice. Thanks also for the reminder about the importance of healthy living and being outdoors and such, something that I need to remember a bit more myself. Next, I'd like to welcome Casey Anderson, the chairman of the Montgomery County Planning Board, to the podium for some remarks as well.
We have won the National Recreation Parks Association gold medal for having the best large park system in the country 6 times. That's more than any other park system in the country. And we believe that we are the best park system in the country. But you know what? That is not good enough. Being the best is not good enough. I think about Bill Belichick. I really hate the Patriots. But I think that you have to admire what they've accomplished. You have to think about what you can learn from even the people that drive you crazy in life, even the people that you're not necessarily really wild about. How have they succeeded? And I think when Bill Belichick wins another Super Bowl, do you think he comes into the office the next day and says, "We're all good. We just won the Super Bowl. We can just relax. Let's put our feet up on the desk, not worry about it"? No, Bill Belichick is thinking about the combine. He's thinking about free agency. He's thinking about the draft. He's thinking about how they're going to get better. Because if you're not thinking about how you're going to get better, you're probably getting worse. And so I want to thank all of our park staff for embracing the challenge of building not just a good enough trail system, not just a great trail system, but we want the best trail system in the entire country. Could you guys raise your hands, all you guys who are out there building the trail? And I want to include not just our staff people, but also I saw a couple of volunteers out here. I saw Bonnie Bell, I saw Joe Fritsch, I saw Dave Scull is here. Everybody who's out here, could you all raise your hands to volunteers? And Jim Corcoran, who organized volunteers. These are the guys that, and it's very absolutely right to thank all the folks at Pepco, Exelon, and all of our political leaders who've given us the resources to do this. But without the volunteers and without the staff people who don't get to come here to the podium, none of this could ever happen. And thank you for humoring me. Thank you for tolerating me when I'm pushing you to get better and never accepting great as good enough. And that's what we've got here. We're getting better and better every single day. This is a great example. Thank you for all of your work.
Casey, thanks for your remarks. And as a individual that was born and raised in Massachusetts, I always appreciate good thoughts about Coach Belichick and those Patriots. But I'll stop now. So next, I'd like to ask Michael Riley, director of our Montgomery County Parks organization, to come forward and make a few remarks. Mike.
So thank you, Casey, for your comments. I felt for a minute like I was in my annual performance review where I hear, "You're doing great, but it's not quite good enough." So I'll keep trying. So quite often we do surveys for what people want to see in the parks. And what always comes out on the top for terms of most used and most wanted is our trails. Trails serve so many benefits. They serve a recreational benefit. They serve a transportation benefit, and on the area of human health and wellness, they provide a venue for physical activity and exercise, and then for mental wealth and wellness, they provide a venue to access nature and be in the great outdoors. I recently had the pleasure, actually earlier this week, of speaking at the 50th anniversary of the Rails to Trails movement, which was fostered our own Capitol Crescent Trail. It will run from Silver Spring down to DC, and that trail we have electronic counters on, and our peak month for trail use on that particular trail is 75,000 users per month. Now I can't say we'll get that here, but I just want to mention that to show you the popularity of our trail system. And another thing, when I spoke at that event, I read a lot of stats about trails, but I thought of something interesting on one of the real estate ads, and I Googled Capitol Crescent Trail, and it was amazing to me how many people, when they list selling what is probably the most valuable asset they'll ever own, their home, list proximate to Capitol Crescent Trail or proximate to Rock Creek Trail, which shows how much people understand the intrinsic value that comes with being next to these great assets. So I just want to finish with thanking a bunch of people. particularly Moore, who's going to help us with maintenance of this trail, Mid-Atlantic off-road enthusiasts. I want to thank the Daves, Dave Magill and Dave Scull, for being grassroots advocates that got this off the ground. I absolutely need to thank Pepco, particularly Jerry Pasternak, who I work closely with through all this. This was a quote from my staff last night as I was preparing, that Pepco went above and beyond in this project in all aspects, so I really need to thank them for that. And then one of my biggest shout outs is for Montgomery County Department of Transportation. This trail, 6 miles, crosses roads at 10 locations, county roads or state roads. There's a big effort going on in Montgomery County that I know the county executive and council member Rice are big supporters of, called Vision Zero, to make sure that wherever we have the interaction of pedestrians, motor vehicles, and bicyclists, that everybody is safe and no one gets hurt. And that's a huge effort for us. And DOT took the lead for us, making sure that these crossings have best practices and are safe in all aspects. And I'll also give a shout out to State Highway Administration, because they worked closely with DOT on those crossings. And then for my staff, whenever I have a big project that's really important to me, I go to one of my 2 deputies and say, please take the reins. In this case, it was Mitra Pedaling. Mitra, please raise your hand. I know you're here somewhere. Thank you for working. She and Jerry became good friends, I know, during this whole deal. All their conversations were polite and professional, I'm certain. And then certainly last but not least, my trail crew, the folks out here who actually built this. Let me start with their fearless leader, Bob Turnbull. He is all of his natural surface, all 170 miles of our natural surface trail. He's the guy, and his crew, Jake Krieger, Bob Ehrman, Annalee Galeas, Stephen Moxley, and Austin Nelligan. Thank you very much, guys. You did a great job.
Thank you, Michael. And last but certainly not least, today we want to welcome Dave Magill, who is the Advocacy Director for the Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts, or MORE, as was just referenced a moment ago, to the podium for some thoughts as well.
Thank you very much. And as I had a chance to speak at the groundbreaking, I'm going to give the mic briefly to my partner at MORE, Dave Scull.
Thank you. I was the lawyer pro bono for the trail user groups who 4 years ago petitioned Pepco and the Public Service Commission to let us put trails on power lines. It wasn't all that easy to sell. This isn't what you do in merger cases, they said. Fortunately, Park and Planning stepped forward shortly thereafter with a letter saying, we think it's a great idea, we've been thinking about it, and here's a map with our priority routes. And guess which one was their top priority? The one we're standing in. And the county council, unanimous resolution approving Park and Planning's position. So now the leaders of the jurisdiction with the largest part of Pepco's Maryland service area were in support. We had the chance to show the commissioners pictures of people happily hiking, biking, galloping, and running on Fairfax County's power line trails. And I think that was probably a seller. And then the county executive and Pepco included trails in their proposed compromise of the merger case. It looked like everything was going our way until we got a barrage of interrogatories from the Maryland Attorney General demanding all sorts of information, including how is it you motivate volunteers to come out and do all this work? No problem. We sent them the recipe for Bonnie Bell's Trail Work cookies, of which there's a tray over there. And I guess they cooked up a batch and were completely satisfied because we never heard from them again. And thus we come to this happy day, which us trail users have been working on for a long time, and we're deeply grateful for all the support. But the merger order was approved and the time came to actually do it. Pepco threw themselves into this chore as a really good neighbor. They did all the engineering for the paved trail. This is a happy day, but something's missing. There were supposed to be 2 trails, one unpaved and one paved. Now, all we need is for Council District 2 to come up with a few $1 million to put the other half of the project in place. And our joy will be complete. So We have had wonderful support from everybody, and I don't think anybody expected it to come out this well. But what we have now is a packet of commission orders, agreements between the various agencies that I think we can use to expand trails on power lines elsewhere in Maryland and probably elsewhere in the country. So we thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I want to thank all the speakers for joining us here today and providing some thoughts about just the magnitude of what we're discussing here.
1, 2, 3.
All right.